Hey y'all, happy Wednesday. Happy Tutorial Wednesday. How's everybody tonight? Hello, hello, hello. I see lots and lots of my friends here tonight. Welcome. It's been a minute, right? I feel like after our 12 days of crazy fun, but mostly crazy, I feel like I was just like, I feel like I've been gone for like a year. It's crazy. How's everybody? Good, good, good. Hello, hello. If I went back and said hello to everyone's names that I've seen so far, we'd be here all night. But hello, everyone. Thanks for being here. If this is your first time, and maybe you've never seen before, welcome. My name is Katrina, and I'm the cookie artist with Dots and Bows Cookies. Welcome. You're freezing, Terry? Yeah, it's cold here, and it's going to get more cold. We'll see how it goes. We have a little bit of chance. I'm in North Texas. I'm in North Dallas. And we have a bit of a chance of some freezing precip. We'll see how it goes. I don't think we'll probably get anything, but you never know. It's going to be really close. Hello, hello, everyone. Hey, Susan. Oh, you baked over the weekend? Well, thank you. Yeah, it just takes some time. It just takes practice, that's all. Karen, I saw you said something about a meltdown. I hope everything's okay. Were you just having bad baking days or what? Hey, Roxy. Kathy, I miss Florida. I do. Okay, y'all. So, tonight, if you can see, we're going to be making some Grinch-esque. And I say Grinch-esque because I don't want copyright police to jump all over me. So I'm very careful with what I'm doing here. Hey, Jen. So we're doing Grinch-esque. So I didn't really want to do like, you know, his full face and all of that sitch, but we're going to do some fun stuff. Oh, no, Karen. Oh, no. I've been there, done that. Okay. So let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and get started. So if you can see on this one over here, you can see what we're going to do on it. I already flooded this in and it's dry with a light blue as our background. And you can see I already used this image. I just saved this image. I just Googled it and saved it. And I used my projector. And I just used an edible marker and went and pinned this on. So this is what we're going to be doing on this one. So it's a little Grinch hand holding the ornament. And we'll do something fun on the ornament too. Hey, Denise. Thanks for sharing, y'all. You guys are awesome. And then on this one, we're going to be doing a cute little, you know, the chubby Grinch belly. So this will be like his chubby little belly poking out of his Santa suit. So it'll probably be like a Santa jacket and then his pants down here. Oh, you were trying to find the cream cheese sugar? I wish I had one that I could give you. I don't have one of those. I haven't tried one of those myself yet. Lots of cookie recipes I want to try, but I haven't gotten to any of them yet. Hey, Faye. Okay, so let's do this. Before I get started, just let me tell you, the keyword tonight is Grinch. So if you type Grinch into the comments, and you, after the live or whenever, if you go to your Facebook Messenger, follow all the prompts and everything in there, then you will get a bunch of information. As always, all the products we use, everything you're going to see me use tonight, every single product we've used in any of our lives, we have live links to those on our products page. So if you're wanting any of that info, definitely put that in there and follow those. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. If you've ever watched me before, you know, we have to do cookies and some stages here. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I think we're going to go ahead and put some layers on this guy. And the good thing is I'm doing 2 cookies, so I can kind of bounce back and forth. And I'm going to use my dehydrator tonight instead of having the heat fan out. That way I can kind of, you know, move it in and out of the dehydrator as we need, because it'll just speed things up. So I'm going to move this one over for a sec. We'll start on this guy. So the first thing that I'm going to do is, you want to do like every other, right? If you've seen me before, you know that. You want to do every other section so that when you want to have definition between the sections. If you were to put every color on at one time, it's all going to kind of flood together and you won't have anything distinguishing between. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to use, and actually it didn't take a lot of colors for this tonight. I'm using, besides white and black, I'm only using like 3 other colors. So it's not bad. What do you use in royal icing to make a cream cheese flavor, Brianna? There is an emulsion that you can use that is actually a cream cheese flavoring. I can't testify to how good it may taste compared to actual like cream cheese, but I do know that it's out there. So you may check into that. Okay, so I'm just starting with red. This is just a little bit. I've been using it today. And this is just like a medium type flood. And I'm just going to move the cookie up a little bit just so when I'm working y'all can see a little bit. And I'm going to flood in the bottom part here. And this one I did not use like an image for. I just kind of went on and sketched out the design myself with an edible marker. Is it good? Yeah, I've never tried it myself, so I can't say, oh yeah, I've definitely tried that. I know what it tastes like. I haven't tried it myself, but I've heard others say it's good. I usually don't put anything in my icing for flavoring. I just use vanilla, just a typical vanilla, but there's so many flavors out there that you could do. Thanks, Nielsa. You hated it, Karen? Yeah, I think it depends sometimes, like, on the brand. Makes a big difference. Like I said, I don't use a ton of them. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and put the red on his jacket up here. So I'm going to spin it. It's going to be upside down for you for a second, but I'm going to go ahead and flood this in. And once we get these separate couple little areas done, we'll pop it into the dehydrator and let it get kind of crusted over here before we come back to it, and we'll work on our other cookie. So if you saw, I just outlined the sections that I'm going to fill, and then I just flood them in. This red's a little bit thinner than I usually use, mostly because it's just kind of sitting. I used it a lot earlier today in some cookies I was working on. So it was sitting for a little bit after I got done using it. I feel like I haven't talked to y'all or been on here or anything forever. That 12 days, it was like, I got to know a lot of y'all. Ooh, a root beer flavored cookie. How did that go? I love root beer. Yeah, the Loran, yeah, those are good. You just have to be careful with the Loran because some of them do contain oil, actual oil, and you can't have oil in royal icing. It doesn't work. So just be careful when you're reading the labels on those, just to pay attention to that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I put all the red parts on that we're going to need. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this in the dehydrator, and we can start on a couple of sections on our other cookie. So give me 1 sec. Hey, Rusty. Alright, I'm going to run that over here. Oh, in the cookies, yeah. The oils, yeah, you can put the oil flavorings all you want in the cookie dough. But I always just caution everybody, anytime I'm talking about that, because some of them, if it's an oiled, some people may not realize that you can't put it in royal icing. But the emulsions that don't have oils, you can. Hey, Diane. Kathy, the color I use for skin, it's actually called Flesh Tone. It's by Chef Master. That's the one that I always use for my skin tones. And you can make it lighter and, a little bit darker. So you can kind of range there too. Ooh, that sounds good. I love lemon. Love, love, love. Okay, so let me think here. So again with this one, we're going to do it kind of like bouncing between layers. I will tell you I'm going to do the white part last because I want that to stand up and be a little bit more puffy. And I'm also going to do something really cute with some nonpareils on there. So we'll go ahead, we'll do like the red part of his sleeve here. And then we can go ahead and put some green in for his hand. We can just kind of go in between here with those colors as well. Yeah, I love lemon too. It's like one of my favorite flavors. If it's done right. I hate when lemon tastes artificial. Then I won't eat it. But, like lemon pound cake and stuff like that, I will choose that over a chocolate pound cake. Okay, so the same red I used before, that's the red that I'm using on his little sleeve now. Hey Patricia, is it cold there? It's gonna be cold here. I'm not looking forward to it. Cold for here anyway. I mean, I know people in the north and stuff and the east and all that, y'all are used to it. I'm not anymore. Okay, so here's the green I'm using. I call it my Grinch green. So how I got this green was, I mix up leaf green and electric green. And I use probably about equal amounts of that. And it gives us this really bright, pretty, like Grinch green. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in his hand. The consistency of this icing is like a medium flood. It's not super thin. I mean, the red is a little bit thinner than I usually use, just because, like I said, it had time to sit and kind of separate a little bit. But it's more of like a medium flood. So it's going to smooth out, but it's like if you had to compare it with seconds wise, I don't even know, maybe like a 10-second. If you do your icing in seconds, I don't do mine in seconds, so. Now I'm just coming in here and just kind of outlining around kind of where like the jagged part of like his furry fingers and stuff are. But we're going to come back over this with black, and we're going to do a little bit of outlining around there as well. So it doesn't need to be perfect. Yeah, Patty, all I did, I went up and looked, I just looked up an image on Google for like a Grinch hand, and I saved it, and I just used my projector, and I just traced it with my projector onto the cookie with edible marker. You could freehand it too if you wanted to do that. I just wasn't really willing to take on that effort yet. Yeah, Russie, any of our lives are always on our page. You can always go back and watch them. Yeah, Becca, that's what I do. I eyeball everything now just by feel. But yeah. Yeah, Deb and Zona, I just finally got y'all stuff sent out today because I was waiting on one of my vendors. They had an issue getting me one of y'all's prizes. Well, and that's not them. It wasn't their fault. It was the post office's fault. So we're finally getting your stuff sent out. Okay, so if you can see, I went ahead and I put the green on, and it's okay, it's kind of running together. We're going to do some accent on here with black, like a stiffer black. But I at least want to get like the base colors down. The next thing I think I'm going to do, we can go ahead and fill in this ornament, and I'm going to fill this in with red. Because again, it's not touching anything, so we can go ahead and get this outlined and flooded in as well. And my icing's coming out of my bag really weird right now, so let me go back over this. I've been so busy, y'all. I mean, it's December. Cookie years are crazy busy. And I kind of have a couple of rounds of pickups here before Christmas, so it's just been kind of, it's been kind of bananas. I'm really, really ready for Christmas to get here because then I can take a break for a little bit. Oh, good, Kelly. You got some good practice in? That's good. The more you practice with it, the better off it's going to be. The easier stuff's going to be. Thank you for sharing, y'all. Okay, so let me look over here and check our other one because it's been in for a few minutes. It doesn't take very long at all. We'll go ahead and switch out. I'm going to move this one and we'll bring our other one over. So it's obviously not 100% dry, but it's just crusted over enough that we can safely go in here and start adding some more colors. Let me put the tray back. Kelly, I'll probably do some New Year's cookies. Just haven't gotten that far yet, but we will. We definitely probably will. I have some cute stencils and stuff I want to use, so we will use that. Okay, so the next layer I'm going to go in with is the green for his belly. So we're going to go right back to the green that we were just using. Oh, TWE graduation cookies. Nice. I had somebody ask me about graduation cookies the other day, but I'm so booked that I couldn't help them, and I was like, oh yeah, there's people that are graduating around this time. Oh, the blue, I don't know, I just thought it would be a nice contrast to it. You know, you have so many of the Christmas colors on there. I just thought it would be nice. And I like a lighter color like that for backgrounds a lot. I don't like to go with too dark of a color, especially if I'm using more rich dark colors in the design. And I figured it'd be a little bit different. It's not just white. So that was kind of my thinking with the blue. I bounced between blue and then possibly putting down, like, I didn't want to go with white. So I kind of thought about blue, and then I thought about what if I did like a gray, just something that was a little bit different. And I liked that blue, so that won out. So I'm just kind of moving the green icing a little bit up to the edge of the red. I didn't want to disturb that red, so I didn't get super close. Hey, Carolyn. All right. Now, what we can do next is, like I said, we can keep bouncing back and forth. So let's go ahead. I'm going to do the black parts of his belt. And then this little buckle part here is going to be yellow, but I'm going to do that last because I want that to be more pronounced than the black, if that makes sense. I want the black to be kind of the background and the yellow look like it's more sitting on top of that. So I just have some black here. This is Flood. So who else is obsessed with Grinch stuff? First of all, I've always loved the Grinch. That was one of the Christmas things that in our house we watched every Christmas season, every holiday season, was the original little Dr. Seuss Grinch. So I've always loved it. But I took my daughter, my 7-year-old, to see the new Grinch, and I was really impressed because it was super cute. And it reminded me a lot of the original. It had the same narration and the same feel of the original one, whereas like the movie that came out, which I love too, that had like Jim Carrey in it, it was a little bit different. It wasn't more of that traditional Grinch, so I really enjoyed the newer movie. It was really cute. Okay, so I flooded those parts of the little belt in, and I'm also going to flood in this little center section, which is like where the belt's going through the buckle here. And then I usually just come in here with like my boo-boo stick, or you can use a scribe or a toothpick, whatever you have, and just kind of smooth it out and make sure it's everywhere it needs to be. Are you, Michelle? That's cute. That's a cute theme for December. I would definitely do that. If I had a December birthday, like one of my kids had a December birthday, that would be really cute. Okay, so we're going to let this one crust over for a sec. Let me double check, because we just put that in there, but it may be just crusted over enough that we can do something with it. So let me put this in the dehydrator. And we'll check on the other one, because I have the dehydrator, because these aren't for an order. If these were for an order, I probably wouldn't even use the dehydrator, but because these aren't for an order and I want to speed it up, I have the temperature turned up a little bit, so it's around like 95, just so it goes a little faster. Yeah, we should be okay. So it's moving a little bit faster than it normally would. Normally, if I'm using a dehydrator for like just crusting over things for like an order, I don't usually put it on anything higher of a temperature than like 80 degrees. But because this isn't for anyone to eat, it's not going to be think that's just for this tutorial, I'm not worried about it. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is the little piece here at the top of the ornament, I think I'm just going to make that black, and then we're going to make the line coming down the string black. So we can go ahead and do that. And I have a thicker black here that I'll use for the string. I may even use it for the little part on the top of the ornament. It should be okay to use it there. Yeah, Linda, the blue one, I dried this in the dehydrator. So it definitely gave it more of a shine than it would if you did not have it, if you just had it sitting out like air drying. Okay, so I'm just going to come in here and outline and fill in our little top of our ornament. And our red's not super duper dry, but it's just dry enough that it's not going to fuss it, you know, mess it up or anything. I feel like I'm like shakier than normal tonight. I usually have a pretty steady hand, but I did decorate cookies all day, so maybe that has something to do with it. Okay, so what, oh, no problem, Emily. Yeah, these are, the ones I'm using tonight are from Bees Baked Art Supplies, and it's the same place that I use the clips from. That's the bags I'm using. I also use bags from Truly Mad Plastics, but those are the top two places that I like the bags from. And we have the links on our products page, so if you want to check those out, we have that there. Kelly says, piping on top of the completely dry blue won't cause craters. No, I usually don't get craters that way. Especially if you're going to pop them in the dehydrator or put them in front of like a fan, you know, for a few minutes. That will definitely help with craters as well, because it's crusting over that top layer quicker. So it's not going to have any time to crater or sink. But I normally don't have too many times where I have to deal with craters. Thank you. Yeah, y'all. I had a big time problem on the phone today. You just don't even know. I had to talk to somebody at AT&T for like an hour and 45 minutes today, and I thought I was going to lose my marbles. I think I actually did lose my marbles a little bit with the supervisor, because I just had enough of it. It was just terrible. Terrible, terrible is all I'm going to say. Okay, so the green is crusted over just enough that I'm going to go ahead and add in some little details here to his hand. For instance, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and add like, I'm not outlining the whole thing. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do like the little bend in his hand here. And then I'm going to go along and I'm going to do like the outline along like his finger here. That makes it kind of look like his fuzzy. So we're going to only do just some accents here, because I really just want to accent it enough to where it looks like that fuzzy, you know, his fuzziness on his fingers. Yeah, Dee Dee, you totally can. Once the live is over, it'll be on our page and you can just go right back to the beginning and catch it. And so then I think like up here we'll add some. So I'll come in here and do kind of like, and I'm just doing it really jagged, because again, we're just wanting it to look like his fuzziness. And I'm going to come down here, and then, you know, you just kind of want to make it to where it's not perfect. You're just really wanting it to be, I don't know, messy looking, because the Grinch is a mess, I guess, if you want to say. Really, I'm just trying to give him some definition on his fingers here. Let's see, I think I'm going to come down here. Yeah, I'll zoom in just a little bit. Give me a sec. That way y'all can see a little bit of the detail I'm doing. Is that better?
Where's the other one?
It's in the dehydrator. So again, like I said, I'm just kind of going around here and giving it just a little bit of contrast. And then I'll go here and we'll do like a couple little lines maybe. Like his crease lines in his hand. And I think I kind of like that. I don't want to give it too much, but I want to have a little bit of detail there. I might put a couple little like crease lines here. So what do y'all think of that? Give me some hearts if you are feeling the little detail that we did. Like I said, I don't want to give him too much. I wanted just a little bit to give it a little bit of that outline to make it punch a bit. Okay, so another thing that we're going to do, I have some thicker white. And this isn't super duper thick, but it's a little bit thicker than Flood. So this is regular white. And what I think I want to do is, I thought to make like the cuff on his sleeve look like just a little puffier. And give it that realistic kind of fuzzy look. And sorry, I'm trying not to hit my webcam cord because I have my thing of nonpareils over here. What I think I'm going to do is put some of that thicker white here, and then we're just going to add a few nonpareils here just to give it like that fuzzy little look. So I'm going to use my tray here, and if anybody's interested, this is just like a little beading tray. I got mine at Bee's Baked Art Supplies. It has a funnel over here, so when you put sprinkles or anything in here, it doesn't go everywhere, and then you can just funnel right back into the bottle. But you can also get these at any jewelry section. Like where they sell like the jewelry making supplies, you know, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, anything like that. Yeah, Jane, you could totally use an edible marker. Yeah. I was even thinking about it when I was doing this. I was like, oh, do I want to use a marker or icing? But I was like, I'll just use icing. Because if I use marker on a live, this has to be like super duper dry. And you know what I just looked at? I think I'm going to add a little bit more here. I think I'm going to come up here a little bit in between his fingers. There we go. I want that. I looked at it. I'm like, what am I missing here? I wanted a little bit in between where his finger and his thumb to come together. Okay. But yeah, you could totally use edible marker. The only thing is with edible marker, you just want to make sure that your icing is completely dry, because then you could puncture it. You know, with the tip of the marker if it's not all the way dry. So for my purposes, I was like, I'll just use icing. Okay, so for the white, like I said, I want this to be really puffy. So I'm going to give it a pretty good amount of icing here. So I'm going to give it some good icing. And then what I'm going to do is, now the rest of my icing is not super dry. So I'm going to just use a hint. And I know I'm reaching my arm in front of y'all. I'm going to move this. You know, a darker green probably wouldn't be bad either. You could definitely use a darker green. Okay. And I'm just going to grab, these are just little white nonpareils. That's all they are. There's some in here that have a little bit of like a pearl look. And if anything gets over on any other icing, I can just move it off. Ideally, I'd probably wait until everything was completely dry before I did this. You know, all the colors around it, but we don't want to sit here all night. Maybe y'all do, but not that I wouldn't want to sit with y'all. I just have 5,000 other things always to do. Okay. So if you see some of them that may go a little stray, usually what I'll do is I pick up my tool and I just kind of push these into that icing just to help set them down in there. So that's all I'm doing now. I'm just kind of catching a couple of the strays and settling them down in the icing. You could use sugar sprinkles, yeah, like sanding sugar. You could do that. I thought about you could do all kinds of things. You could do glitter. The only thing with glitter is it's you know, glitter goes everywhere. So it's really hard to isolate glitter to like one little section on the cookie. You could, if everything was completely dry around the other sections, you could put glitter on and then just use your airbrush machine with just the air, or a paint, you know, dry paintbrush, and just brush off the glitter that got other places. But seeing as some of our other icing is still wet, that would be hard to do. Yeah, Kelly, I'm actually going to put a little sparkle thing on here. If you mean like a reflection, I was going to do that. The only thing is I honestly, I was like, I want to put glitter on the bulb. And you know what? We might be able to. I just have to be really careful not to get it anywhere up here. But you could. And then also what I'm going to do here in just a few, I'm going to use black and then just make it look like it has a little break. You know, like a puncture break, like part of it, a little piece of the bulb broke off. Let me grab glitter. Maybe we can put some glitter on it. Let me see. I just don't want it to get all over everything else. That's the only thing. So we can try a little glitter. Like I said, this isn't for anything special, so we can play around with it. So let me do this. Let me show you something. I'm just going to grab, like, I have a little, it's a little card I put in my little elf on the elf orders. I'm not even going to say that full name out loud. I'm not going to do that. I'll probably just put this here. That'll help guard those other areas from the glitter. So I'm going to put this card here. And let's see what we can do here. Because then if it gets on the blue is completely dry and I can just brush that off. The red may even be too dry now, but it's still kind of tacky, so it may work. Alright, let me find a fluffy brush here, or a fluffier brush. And I'm going to brush some of this off. Normally I'd probably try to grab my airbrush, but seeing how I don't want to dig that off the shelf over here, we're just going to brush some of this off. So now we can add a little bit of glitter, a little sparkle to the ornament. So, you see that? It's a little bit. I probably would have put it a lot more on if I left it like super dry before it crusted over it all, but it's crusted a little bit, so it's not going to be super duper shiny. But you could do it. If you wanted to put it on while it was like wet, you could add a lot more to it and it's going to stick. You could do a monogram. That would be really cute. You could do a lot of things on it. Okay, so another thing, like I said, I wanted to do, I think I'm going to go in here and I'm going to add just over here on the side. I'm going to do like a little reflection mark here with white. Right? And then another thing I wanted to do is I'm going to take the black and then I'm going to come down here and I'm just going to do like a really jagged, where it looks like a jagged little hole in the ornament. And if you didn't want to do this, you didn't have to. But, you know, the Grinch, he broke all the ornaments, you know, and wanted to remove them and stuff. So I thought it would be cute if we kind of did like a little jagged hole in it. And I may even go down and like, I may even add like a little jagged piece of red. So, you know, it's like the broken piece of ornament underneath. Right? So then let's do that. I think that'd be really cute. So I'm going to go, and this red is kind of thin, so I'm going to be careful with it. But you know what, let me move this cookie too, because, or the tray, because the tray is getting in my way. Okay? So then what I may do is I can come down here, and like I said, I'm just going to add, and if you can't make it super jagged because of how thin the icing is, I'll show you. You can kind of take it and drag it out to kind of somewhat match our hole there. Right? Hey, Marilyn. So that's just like something you could do. You could even go around it too to make it kind of stand out and add some like marks with the black, right? So it's kind of Kind of like we did on the Grinch hand, where it's like kind of accenting this piece of ornament down here. You can just play around with it and decide what you want to do. Like I said, this isn't for anything special. This is just us playing. So if I hate something, I hate it, and that's just what it is. Okay? So that's pretty much it. So that cookie didn't take long at all. So we added a little bit of sparkle to our ornament. You can even add some more sparkle to that piece if you wanted to, right? Okay, so I'm going to move this one off the side. Let's check on our other one really quick. We are looking pretty good on this one. So, now on this one, if you really wanted to get super fancy, you could fill this in with like yellow. And then if you wanted to, you can go back and like paint it gold if you wanted to be really fancy. I'm not going to do that, but you know, whatever you wanted to do. I'm just going to use regular yellow. So the yellow that I'm going to use for this, hey Marilee. Yeah, Loretta, you can totally watch it from the beginning. Once it's over, you can just restart it. So I'm just using this yellow. Now this yellow, I use this for all of like my jingle bells and stuff like that. I do it with the mix of the egg yellow and lemon yellow. And it makes a really pretty kind of like more of a golden type yellow. Linda, I usually don't take them, it's actually sitting on, it doesn't need to be on. I usually don't leave them in there any longer than about 10 minutes. I just put them in there long enough to let whatever layer I want crusted over, just enough where it's dry enough that I can, you know, fill in next to it, or if I'm going to be doing detail work on top of it, just crust it over enough that it's going to be able to support what I do on top of it. Right? He's broke. I know, right? Isn't everybody this time of year? It's kind of crazy. So I'm just going in here and basically just flooding in this whole section around where his belt is to make that belt buckle. And then I'll just use my tool to make sure it's going everywhere I want it to go. And something else I thought would be cute, and I'll do it here in a second. I'm going to do the white first, but I'm going to add like his little belly button here. So you can definitely tell it's like his chubby belly. So I'm going to add the white. And again, the same thing like we did on the other one. I want to make sure this white is like extra puffy because it's his puffy part of his jacket. And I'm doing this kind of blind going this way. I couldn't really see what I was doing. I try to keep my hand out of the way so everybody can see what I'm doing. And that's not always the easiest task. Okay. Now again, the white doesn't have to be like super perfect because I'm going to do the same thing I did to the other one. And I'm just going to add some of those nonpareils just because to me, it gives it a really cute, festive, you know, fuzzy look. And I keep putting my nonpareils back over here so that I have to reach in front of y'all's face with my arm. You'd think I would learn that by now. Okay. It's just how I have things placed when I'm normally decorating versus doing a live is kind of backward. All right, I'm going to grab my tray back over here just so I don't have to make a mess everywhere. And I'm going to be kind of careful because like I said, some of those other areas are not dry. This is okay. It should it's crusted, but see how it stuck to like the yellow right there? So I'll just have to go kind of dig that one off of there. If some get on there, it's no big deal. I can just get them off. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use my trick a little bit. I'm going to try to help keep these from bouncing up there. If they do, they do. It's no biggie, but I just don't want to make y'all sit here while we're waiting on stuff to crust over, and we can get those off there. I'm just trying to give him a little bit of fuzziness here. All right, let me dump this over. And then, hey Cheryl, No biggie. One of those really went into the belt buckle. It was like, this is my home now, don't move me. This is where I live. So this icing on the belt buckles, obviously I can do this right now because it's still really wet. But, you know, ideally, if I were doing this, I would have not done the white part with the nonpareils. I would not done any of that until this was all set. But, you know the spiel. I don't have to keep telling you. It's all in the interest of time, y'all. Alright. So I am just removing a couple of these and then we can finish him up. Okay. So we're good there. Just making sure we smooth out a little bit. Okay. Now, like I said, the last thing I want to do a cute little belly button. So we're going to go back in with this little green, the same green we did. And I'm just going to do a cute little belly button there. Just a little dot. Yeah, totally, Cheryl. Yeah, they're always kept up on our page. We don't take them down. So if you ever missed part of a live, any of the lives we've ever done forever and ever are always on the Facebook page, our main page. They're under the videos. So you can always go back and rewatch them. Okay, so let me move some of my mess out of the way, and then y'all can see both of these together. Thank you. Yeah, he's really cute, isn't he? So I said, you can do so many different designs and not ever really use things like their face. When I was thinking about cookies to make tonight for the Grinch stuff, I was like, maybe I'll do one that has like a cute saying on it, which you could totally do. If you wanted to do like the stink, stink, stunk, that would be super cute. You could do, you know, any of the phrases from the show. Like holiday, who be whatty, like all of that kind of stuff, the super cute sayings they have in all the different Grinch movies. You could do any of those. So let me know some hearts if you guys like these two cookies, if you like the set. Is she, Belinda? Yeah. My daughter really likes it too. She'll probably want to keep these cookies, more than likely. Yeah, Linda, mine are 3/8 of an inch thick. Yep. So you can see if I turn it a little bit, they're a little bit thicker. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm glad we got to come back on. Like I said, I was missing everyone. I felt like it had been crazy, crazy. But I hope you like these. I had some people kind of requesting some Grinch stuff, and I know they probably wanted to see. I posted on the page some Grinch cookies I made a couple years ago. I made a space out of like an ornament. But like I said, I was kind of trying to steer clear a little bit of his face and stuff like that, because sometimes people like to get a little crazy about that. So yeah, I wanted to do some Grinch-esque to give you guys some ideas, so to let you know you can do things that doesn't necessarily have to have like his face or anything on it. Thank you, thank you. You guys are so sweet. Well, again, if you guys are wanting to know anywhere from the plaque cutter I used to anything we used here tonight or any of our lives, just check it out on our products page. We just have links to everything, so if you need to go shop in there and figure out what to find, we have that. Thank you, Corinne. Oh, Belinda, yeah, just restart it when it's over. You can just go back and rewatch. I just, it was already drawn on there. I just saved an image. I Googled an image, saved it, and with my projector, I just traced it on with an edible marker. But you can hand draw it too. You're so welcome. Thank you guys so much. I had fun. So yeah, we will be back next week like we always are. So thank you so much for watching. And if you guys want to share, I would love you forever for that. So yeah, that is it. And I will see you guys next Wednesday. All right? You guys have a great night. Bye.